Okay, so we start. Hi, everybody. Today we are going to talk about a very important subject in our series of Plan Special Needs webinars, which are there every Saturday, 11 o'clock, 11 to 11:30. In this webinar series, we try to cover various aspects for planning the special need children care. So for their families, the financial aspect of it, the estate planning aspect of it, the questions like what after us. So some of these questions we keep answering in these webinars. So we welcome you to today's session. Today we are going to talk about how to prepare a proper budget for your special need child care. So today we have with us the founder of Plan Special Needs, Mr. Jitendra Solanki. Welcome, Jitendra.
Hi Shilpa, good morning.
Good morning to you. So let's begin right on the topic. Financial planning has always been the crucial aspect for any special need family and any other family as well. Okay, and when we talk about financial planning, we refer to four important pillars, which is your income, expense, and assets and liabilities. So when we talk about the expense part of it, it becomes the foundation for the entire financial planning per se, and the budget somewhere originates and decides how the expenses will be taken forward. So for a normal family also, how the budgeting exercise becomes very important, if you can highlight that. And after that, if you can tell us like how budgeting is especially important for different type of families which have special needs in their families.
Okay, yes. So budgeting is in fact the basis of your financial planning, because when you are planning your finances, when you're planning your life goals, you want to plan for the future. Your planning starts right from the day you start preparing your budget. And when I say budget means knowing that how much you are earning every month. Now that is very important for any family. Budgeting is always important because knowing how much I can save will help families to plan for the future, because that is the money which is available to you from where you can accumulate for your life goals. And now, in general, the way we have seen, even in our household, when we are going for shopping, to buy household items, we are preparing a budget. How much we're going to spend on each of these items at home, and prepare the budget at how much we have and what is the money left. So that's how you do budgeting, to help you understand that what is the amount of money you have spent, and do you have enough money available to you to spend that money. Now, coming to special need children families, because there is a special needs child and his expenses are on a higher side, considering there are many healthcare expenses, there are other expenses. So it's very important for any special needs child family that you should prepare a budget, because the budget will tell you that how much you are actually spending and how much money is available to you then to plan for your child's future. Because unlike traditional planning, a special child family has to plan both ways. They have to plan for the special needs child also, and they have to plan, the parent have to plan for themselves also. If there's a sibling, his future also have to be planned, because all family members future has to be planned. So it's very important that you know very well how much money you are spending. And with a special need child, his expenses are different from a household expenses. It's important any special need child family should prepare a budget separately for the special need child, because that will help them to identify that how much money they need for him for his lifetime cost care.
Yeah, so budgeting becomes the backbone of the entire exercise of financial planning. Now, as we have seen other times also, and we see in the live cases as well, when a child is detected with any kind of situation, what happens is the financial part of it, because one parent sometimes have to give up on their job and the career to take care of the child, At the same time, the other parent has to maybe adjust according to the locational changes if there are any, and because of that there are many financial setbacks which can happen. So budgeting as an exercise can really be very helpful for such families to take that kind of a decision whether I can continue in the existing scenario, can we take a setback and go to some other location. So these questions can be answered only if you have a budget in place, which becomes the you can say uh, a provider, a navigator for your journey. Now let's come to what should get into the budgets. When we talk about special need child, we have been time and again talking about 5 life stages of the special need child. So when your child is small and the diagnosis has just happened, so what are the parameters? See, so let us go stage wise so that because so that it is very clear for those parents to what to do and how to do the budgeting. So when the child is small, in the life stage one, as we call it, from 0 years to 18 years of age, what are the important parameters of budget for special need child may have?
Okay, so when the child is at that stage, especially we are talking about the minority stage. Now that's where the expenses are going to be higher side, and expenses are changing frequently. So there will be expenses on his therapy. It will start, the parent will start expenses on therapy, on care, on the medical expenses. Then the schooling will start at a life stage. So the school expenses will add on. That's where tuition expenses, the schooling cost will add in. So all these costs will add when the child is in minority. Now these changes frequently. When I say frequently, it means suppose the families are starting with the therapies, and in the initial years, the therapies are the number is required is much higher. Then the therapy is required at a later stage. So once the child moves to a certain stage, then no more so much therapies are required. So initially the cost might be on a higher side. And why it is changing frequently? Because at some point you will find the therapies are not enough. You will more to it. There are more medical expenses might add up. Now when their schooling is there, then as I said, the schooling, the transportation cost, the book cost, whatever is, whether it's a special school or whether it's an inclusive school, so the schooling cost will come up. So because all these expenses are there and it changes, and there are healthcare expenses where inflation is much higher. So for a family, it's very important that they start budgeting for these expenses right at the initial stage. They should know how much they are spending on therapy. They should know how much there's any support system might be required for the special child, or any other aspect might be there in the special child expenses which is not there in general. So you need to budget it down for all those expenses because you are going to spend money for it and you have limited income. So when the child is in
Yes.
minority, and to accommodate whatever changes are happening, if it is happening at a very frequent level, the expenses are going up and suddenly the expenses are coming down. At minority, the expenses generally go up because more and more expenses keep happening. You need to, when the assessment is done for the child disability, then there are certain requirements which come up where you need to add certain aspects. So because these expenses are changing frequently, you need to accommodate and you need to keep on improving on your budget. You keep on monitoring child expenses, because that's what will tell you that how much you are spending, because your savings will keep on fluctuating. Initially you might be saving more, suddenly the expenses increases on a higher side, then and you have to allocate for all your life goals. So at this life stage, the expenses are fluctuating, and they are, I would say, probably at a higher side. So that's where the families have to budget, all these expenses. And during the minority, they should start budgeting for the special needs child expenses separately.
Okay, so when the child is small and he has got diagnosed with the special needs situation, that is the time when the exploration of medical expenses, household work, even some kind of renovations which has to be done at home, this kind of expenses will keep coming, and that's why we have to keep budgeting for it. Um, in that also primarily, we have to focus, because you have to work on the exploration of the cure or the treatment given to the child, as well as the expense part of it. When the child grows up a little bit and he is on the verge of crossing the 18 years of age, that's where we enter the life stage 2 of the special need child. When the person has actually attained the majority. Okay, so from the minority, now he has got into the majority. So at this stage, Jitendra, what kind of budgeting can be more important? Understanding that the child is grown up, at the same time the parents are also slowly getting into another stage of life. So what kind of budgeting can you suggest for this kind of parents who are children have crossed 18 years of age and they are at home?
Yeah. So, I just talk about the minority of the special needs child. Now, one of the aspects which parent has to deal with is they are not sure of what expenses are coming up. For example, the clothing needs, they do not know how the clothing needs will develop for the special child. They do not know on the food expenses. The child might develop, if there is some kind of an allergy with respect to some food, so they have to, focus on a particular diet. And same is goes with the schooling, the education cost, and there are other expenses where the uncertainty is there, and because of that uncertainty, minority you have to monitor expenses very frequently. Now, when the child is moving from minority to an adult phase, the expenses somewhat parents are aware that what kind of expenses are there for the special needs child. And they might not change so frequently. Yes, certain expenses will change. Suppose support staff. When the child move from minority to an adult stage, there might be a change in support staff. You might not require, such a huge support staff which you require immediately. You might have to change the support staff. Just give you an example. So if there is a, the male child, and after leaving the minority, the support staff or the female, you might have to change her, and bring in a male staff when the child moves towards an adult. So the behavioral aspect will change, the requirements will change, the expenses somewhat you are aware of. From therapies you might move to vocational courses, and vocational courses, you are aware of what kind of expenses these are. Those are not going to change very frequently, because the vocational going to happen for few number of years. You know very well what is the schooling cost of vocational courses. So those are not going to change frequently. So when you are aware of that, what are the expenses, and these somewhere becomes constant. When I say constant, some expenses might be variable, but some expenses might become constant. So, food, clothing, the daily personal needs. These now parents are well aware of. When the child is moving to an adult age, some of them changing. So at this stage, the parents, if they have have been following a budgeting exercise, it becomes very easy to accommodate whatever is happening. But if the parent is starting at this stage, then the monitoring might not be so frequently as they have to do in the minority phase. But still you need to, as I always say, that you need to still budget for the special need child separately. Why I'm saying it separately? Because you have to identify the lifetime care cost. You have to budget for his financial care, lifelong care after your lifetime. And to identify that, you need to know separately that what is the amount which my special child will require for his lifelong expenses. And that's where budgeting is very, very important. So when the child is moving to an adult phase, if you are following it, it becomes easier to accommodate. If you are starting up, then again the exercise is the same. That prepare a special need child budget separately, have cover all those elements, and then start budgeting. What happens when you start budgeting now is that you are not aware of, on an accurately you are not aware of what is being spent on each of these expenses. So you have to take some estimation on some of these expenses, monitor it for next 6 months, and then you reach to a certain accuracy level after 6 months when you have monitored it, and then you start following a specific budget for your special needs child.
So when the child is at the stage 2, the life stage 2, which is he has crossed 18 years of age, but he's still living with the parents. This is a stage where other expenses, as Jitendra has mentioned, you have already aware like what kind of expenses from the medical perspective and vocational perspective are there for your child. But at the same time, we have to also acknowledge that this is the time when some of the legal expenses also may get incurred, because you have to take the legal guardianship of the child, so that also will call for some money. Plus the parents are getting into middle age, or moving towards the old age, senior citizen age, or old age, they are retiring. So though the expenses are more clear, there may be possibility that the income is actually taking a toll because of the retirement and things like that. So this is a very crucial stage. If you have not started your budgeting when the child is minor, then this is the high time that we actually start doing this budgeting and plan our expenses in such a way that in the limited income we can still manage the child care in a effective way. The next stage
See, there are
becomes
there are
much
some
more.
uh, hmm, just a minute. So there are some expenses still which
Yeah,
might pay when it suddenly has come up. For example, when a child is moves to an adult phase, you might need a separate room. You might have to do a modification in the house.
yes.
An adult now, when the child is minor, he's living with you. So all those expenses, and when you take all those expenses for a middle class family, they are quite on a higher side. Modification in the house, or if you've been remain, in a smaller house, you might have to move to a bigger house. So these expenses are on a very higher side. That's where we say that the budgeting has to be planned much early in life, because suddenly accommodating these expenses will become difficult. You apart from the references, you will have to accommodate all these expenses when the child is moving towards an adult phase. Apart from what you have said, the legal expenses might come up, or some other expenses could be there at this life stage.
Actually, budgeting is nothing but defining the lifestyle for your child, like what kind of lifestyle you want to give to your child, because that is, every lifestyle has its own expenses, and when you are budgeting, you are actually making it clear that this is how my child will stay and live his life or her life, and these are the kind of expenses I must provide for. So now going to the stage 3, where the child is being shifted to maybe the residential area, or maybe we can cover the next 2 3 stages together and we'll see how we can actually do this, because we have already said that the child is now major and he's staying with the parents.
Yeah.
But what if the parents have become very old, or maybe one of the parent is no more, okay, and the child has to get, can be residential or it can be shifted to some residential facility. Under such circumstances, can the budgeting be done that time, or is it too late to do any kind of activity that time?
If that situation comes and the parents have not, budgeted before, probably I would say yes. You might be late in that respect. That now you do not have to do a daily budgeting, because if your child is shifting to a residential living, they will charge you a lump sum cost, so they are taking care of that. But then providing this for the child lifelong is what you have to provide for. The finances you have to provide for. And that's why I said, if you have budgeted early, you would have identified the lifetime care cost, because you would be knowing that how these expenses will come up in the future. And to meet all these expenses, this is the lump sum money I require. So if you haven't done budgeting at all and you have moved to that stage, now it's all up to that you have to provide that money to the residential living center to take care of his expenses. You might not have to do a complete budgeting for special needs child expenses, but yes, you'll have to do a budgeting for your family. That this is the money monthly amount going for my special child. This is left for me. Now this is the money available where I have to plan my retirement also. I have to plan the sibling future also. So you have to plan in that manner, and this can be done only when you do follow a budget much early in life. Because if you're following from there, you would have been knowing this is the money which is going to come up in the future, and to spend this money, I need to accumulate this much amount of money for my child.
And at the same time, again, as I mentioned, in the stage two, when the child has become major and the legal expenses also start coming in the picture, this is the time when most of the people will start thinking about estate planning, and that also will have some
Yes.
expense. So, what do you say about it, isn't it? So, what kind of
Yes,
expenses they
it
have to
will,
budget for? If
because when okay, so when you start doing an estate planning, so you will have to incur the legal cost on drafting those legal documents, preparing the provision. You have to draft a trust, you have to draft a will, you have to hire professionals, and not only for hiring professionals, for for these, even hiring professionals for managing your money, because you have to grow that money at a desired return to accumulate the right amount of money which is required for special needs child. So these, and for special children families, the legal expenses are on higher side. You need a legal professional, you need a professional help to draft all these legal documents, and it does not stop there. Once you have created that legal framework, now you need professional to manage that legal framework. So the expenses will will be there on a recurring basis, because these expenses have added up at this stage when you have drafted those legal documents. When you draft that legal framework, now these expenses have added up in your expenses. So with special needs child, these expenses will also add up. For this total expenses, now you need to provide for, and that's where we say that yes, you need to do a financial planning much early in life, because special needs child expenses would be there, but to provide for special needs child the lifestyle you want, for him or her, you will have to incur additional expenses.
that's right. And we have seen in our consultancy also that many a times people have not budgeted for such legal aspects, and they just push the problem under the carpet, but it is has to arise somewhere or the other. So it is always better that understanding that, okay, my child needs to be taken care of. So somewhere or the other, I have to get into these expenses for estate planning or trust or legal guardianship. These are some of the inevitable things which are there, which has to happen. So it is always better that you start early, provide for such expenses in your budget at whatever stage your child is. Maybe in the initial stages, you are still stage one, the child is minor and he is still, you are also understanding. That time, probably you may say that, okay, but some budget can be done definitely, definitely when the child crosses 18 years of age. You must start allocating some funds for the estate planning and the structure which you are trying to create so that your child is taken care of even after you. So these are some of the aspects of budgeting that we have seen today. So now, how to implement it? Can we do this? Well, is it a big exercise? Because some of the people, they are not from finance background or something like that, and they feel that this is too tedious or too difficult a job to be done. Can you give them some tips like using simple Excel or something? Can we do this exercise for them?
Yes, certainly. Budgeting is not a difficult exercise. In fact, all household do some kind of a budgeting. When I am planning out that this is my expenses, and when I am planning out my household expenses from my income, I am actually doing budgeting. Now you have here, what you have to do is that you have to prepare a separate budget now for special needs child. To be included, that's what family has, and that's where we help families, that we have created an expense chart with all the headings, with all the expenses, what will be incurred on special needs child, and family can use those expense chart to actually start budgeting for their special needs child expenses. So that expenses chart is available. It's available on our website. We are also building some tools also to identify these expenses which will come up in the future. So for families who does not know how to start budgeting for special needs child, I would say just pen down what all expenses you are incurring today. Because if your child is suppose 9 years or 10 years of age, you would be incurring most of the expenses. Be it therapies, be it schooling, food, clothing. So there are general expenses, food, clothing. These are general expenses which you incur for you. You have to just allocate separately for special child. Now add on whatever additional expenses you are incurring for him, schooling, medical, and all those, and you come out with a special needs start. So whatever you are able to do it, you do it and start monitoring it. I think even if you are not following it 100%, even if you follow 80%, you will be near to your goal of managing your special needs child life well-being, because it's important that this expense, once you calculate, you will have to identify that what is the money I should leave behind for my child if I am not there tomorrow. And this can only happen when you know very well that this is the money which is being spent on the child, and this will be the money which will be spent on the child in the future. And for this I need to provide this lump sum money. So we use, surely we are helping families in calculating these lifetime care costs. We have been doing programs, we'll be doing webinars, workshops where we tell actually family how this budgeting should be done, how this lifetime care cost, should be evaluated. And we have to come up with some online tools also to help more and more families where they can evaluate these expenses.
So, friends, more on budgeting also can be seen on our website planspecialneeds.com. We have some blogs which are specially written for budgeting for special need care. So, please do visit the Plan Special Needs website. Now, what we are gathering from the last half an hour discussion is starting early is the best solution as far as the budgeting and financial journey is concerned, so that you have enough time. You have seen the various phases of the child's life stages where the budgeting can change and focus can be different at different stages. So starting early, reviewing the expenses, reviewing the budget, and keeping track of how much money will be required later on, having a clear vision of how my child will be taken care of later on also in his life, what kind of lifestyle I want to give to my child. These are some of the aspects as a parent we all have to think about our special need child. Anything else before closing, Jitendra, you would like to share with the audience?
Yes, the only advice is that budgeting is the basis of all financial planning. When we do financial planning, it start managing, identifying your cash flow. So budgeting, without budgeting, it will be very difficult to always, work out financials for your special needs child. So I think if you haven't started budgeting, start it today. As I said, as you said, the information is there on our website. Just read those articles. It will give you elements to be covered. Start preparing this budget, from today, and start families would be more aware of what actually, the money they are actually saving from the expenses. And there is also one part that when you monitor special needs child expenses, and so you are actually able to identify that, are you not spending, sometimes you are spending more than what is required. Might be therapies. You might be taking on therapies which are not required. So when you do these expenses and when you analyze that, oh, I'm actually negative cash flow. You are able to identify that whether these expenses are required, or if I have to cut down, what expenses I can cut down. You can evaluate, in more comprehensively, and then your financial planning is much, better, much comprehensive when you start with a budgeting exercise for your special needs child.
Okay, so let's start doing the budgets, friends, and let's be on it. So let's close today's session here. Thank you so much for attending. See you next Saturday again, 11 o'clock, with more interesting and similar type of discussions that we can be helpful for you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jitendra.
Thank you, Shilpa. Thank you, Shilpa. See you next Friday.
Bye.